For years, you've worn the label lazy. You've called yourself lazy when you hit the snooze button, when you put off that project, when you chose the couch over the gym. But what if I told you that label is a lie? A convenient, simple, but ultimately false explanation for a much deeper feeling. What if you're not lazy at all? What if you're just profoundly exhausted from constantly starting things that don't truly matter to you? Think about it. We live in a world that glorifies the hustle, the grind, the relentless pursuit of more. But are you chasing goals that light you up? Or are you running a race that someone else set for you? Most people who feel lazy are not inherently unmotivated. They're simply living a life they don't actually want. They wake up every single morning, pouring their precious energy into a job that drains their soul, following a routine that feels like a prison, and chasing a version of success that was planted in their mind by society, by family, or by social media. It's a borrowed dream. And here's the fundamental truth. When your soul doesn't believe in the mission, your body will refuse to move. That feeling you call laziness, it's not a character flaw. It's a form of protest from your inner self, a sign that you are deeply, fundamentally disconnected. So, no, you are not lazy. You are disconnected. You've been told your whole life to just work harder, to push through it, when what you desperately need is not more discipline, but a deeper reason, a why that burns so brightly inside you that it becomes the fuel. I want you to pause and think about this for a moment. When was the last time you felt truly, exhilaratingly alive while doing something? Can you remember that spark? That feeling of being so immersed, so engaged, that you entered a state of flow? That moment when you completely forgot to check the time, when hours felt like minutes? That feeling isn't a fluke. That's your purpose calling out to you. It's a glimpse of what life could feel like if you were aligned. But somewhere along the way, you just stopped listening. The real problem isn't a lack of willpower. It's the deafening noise of the world around you. It's the constant, overwhelming flood of information. Social media is a highlight reel, screaming at you about who you should be, what you should have, and how far behind you are. Well-meaning friends and family might judge your pace, questioning why you haven't figured it out yet. And then there's the most insidious voice of all, the internal whisper of fear, the one that tells you you'll never make it, that it's too late, that you're not good enough. Faced with this onslaught, what do? You freeze. You become and in that state of paralysis, it's so much easier to reach for that simple, familiar label. I'm just lazy. It's a shield. It is easier to say you're lazy than to admit the terrifying truth. You're afraid. Listentotis, and let it sink in. Fear loves to disguise itself as laziness. It's a masterful chameleon. Every time you say, I'll do it tomorrow, I want you to ask yourself what you're really saying. More often than not, it's a translation for, I'm scared it won't be perfect, or I'm scared of what people will think, or I'm terrified that I'll pour my heart into this, and it still won't work. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. You're not avoiding the task. You're avoiding the negative emotions associated with the task, like fear, self-doubt, and insecurity. You are not lazy. You are scared. Scared of failure. Scared of judgment. Scared of looking foolish. Scared of discovering that your best isn't good enough. Scared of succeeding, and then having to live up to new expectations. You're scared of starting all over again, of admitting that the path you've been on for years was the wrong one. But let me share a universal truth with you. Every single person you admire, every hero you look up to, has stood exactly where you are now. They have felt that same paralyzing fear. The difference is not that they were fearless. The difference is that they decided to move anyway. They acted in spite of the fear. They understood that you don't wait for motivation to strike like lightning. You create momentum. One small, imperfect step at a time. They didn't get stuck asking, what if I fail? They dared to ask the more powerful question. But what if I never even try? So please, do yourself a kindness. Stop saying you're lazy. Stop using that word as a whip against your own back. You're not lazy. You're human. You've just been lost in the fog, navigating with a broken compass. But being lost doesn't mean you can't find your way back. it doesn't mean you can't find your fire again. The path forward doesn't start with a grand, life-altering leap. It starts small, incredibly small. Make one tiny promise to yourself today and keep it. Just one. Drink a glass of water first thing in the morning. Go for a 5-minute walk. Write one sentence. Do one single thing that the future version of you will be grateful for. Because the cure for this feeling you call laziness isn't more guilt or more shame. The cure is alignment. When what you do is in harmony with who you are and what you value, energy doesn't need to be forced. It flows naturally. From now on, the next time you feel that familiar pull of laziness, I want you to stop. Don't judge yourself. Don't spiral into self-criticism. Instead, get curious. Gently ask yourself one simple question. What am I actually avoiding right now? And when you sit with that question and answer it with radical honesty, you'll begin to see the truth. You'll realize you were never lazy. You were just waiting for the right signal, the right reason to remember who you really are and what you're truly capable of. You are not lazy. You are just disconnected. It's time to find your fire. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content to help you change your life, one lesson at a time. See you in the next one.